Well, hello everybody, welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to be making some blueberry muffins. Now there's lots of different recipes for blueberry muffins around, and I've checked a good few of them out, and some of them have recipes that the muffins don't rise very much and they're a nice dense texture. Others have them where the muffins rise and split and they're a much lighter texture, and they're the ones that I'm going to try to make today. Now I have some buttermilk here which I've bought, but I just want to say that you can make your own buttermilk if you can't get it in the shops or you don't want to buy it in the shops. About 240 millilitres of milk with a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of lemon juice or white vinegar added into it and left for 10 minutes, and that will make you some buttermilk. So my ingredients are 350 grams of plain flour, 1 tablespoon that is, of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add that in to the flour. 200 grams of caster sugar, and I'm going to add that in as well. I have 225 grams of blueberries which I've washed. You could use frozen blueberries, but make sure they're frozen and not thawed. Here I've got about 170 grams of them, and there is the remainder. These are going to go into the mixture and these are going to be put on the top. Then I have 120 millilitres of melted butter. You could use oil instead if you wanted to. I have 240 millilitres of buttermilk. I have 2 medium eggs, that's large in the US, and I have a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So the first thing to do is to mix our wet ingredients together. So I'm going to put the eggs into a bowl. I should say I'm preheating my oven to 220 Celsius. That's 200 Celsius with a fan, 425 Fahrenheit. That's the temperature that I will put the muffins into the oven at, but I will immediately then reduce the temperature to 180 Celsius, 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit. But that initial burst of heat will help the muffins rise up in the way that we want them to. So we'll just mix our eggs together, and then we'll add in the rest of the wet ingredients. The butter, the vanilla extract, and the buttermilk. Now I need to scrape that buttermilk out. If you make your own, it won't necessarily be as thick as this, but it will still do the job exactly the same. And then what we're going to do is just mix those ingredients together. That's fine. And then what I want to do is to mix the flour, the sugar, the baking powder and the salt together. And then I'm going to make a well in the centre and pour the wet mixture in. And I'm just going to begin to gently stir that in. I don't want to overmix this. If you overmix this mixture, then you'll get the gluten working in the flour, and it will tend to make the batter or the muffins rather tougher than you want. So before I finish mixing that in, I'm going to add the 3/4 of the blueberries into the mixture, and continue stirring in until all the flour is nicely combined but not overworked. You need to make sure you scrape to the bottom of the bowl, because as ever you'll find there's lots of flour there that still needs to be incorporated. You don't need this to be a smooth batter at all. So that's it. So now what I'm going to do is, I have 12 muffin cases here, and I think I should get 12 out of this, but I'm going to spread this evenly amongst each of the muffin cups, making sure I get blueberries into each one, of course. Okay, so having divided the mixture, I'm actually going to just push some of these blueberries into the top of each one. Can go in there. Some of them have more already poking out of the top, so I'm just making sure that each one's got some poking out of the top. Like that. And then what I have here is some demerara sugar, which I'm just going to sprinkle over the top of each one, as little or as much as you want. I've got a couple of tablespoons here. You could use preserving sugar, which is nice and large granules. Demerara sugar will just give it that little bit of extra flavour. You don't have to top it at all, of course. Okay, that'll be enough there, I think. And so then what I'm going to do is to put those into the oven, as I say, at 220 Celsius, 200 Celsius with a fan, 425 Fahrenheit. And as soon as I've closed the door, I'm going to turn the heat down to 180 Celsius, 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit. And I'm going to let them bake for 25 minutes. They will rise up, split, and then a skewer in the centre should come out clean. Then I'm going to take them out and let them cool down, and I'll be back with you to show you the result. I just checked that the oven was the right temperature, which it is. Okay, so I'm back with you, and I've baked our muffins for 25 minutes. The skewer comes out clean when poked in the middle. So this is what they look like. They've just started to let their juice, release their juice into the batter. I've taken one from the paper so that I can taste it. They're still quite warm. I'd ideally let them go a little bit cooler before I did this, but that's fine. And you can see lovely blueberry juice, blueberries. That's very good. And I've got a nice crunchy top from that Demerara sugar as well, which just gives a little bit extra texture. These are so simple to make and very, very tasty. So I recommend you give these a try. That's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up by clicking on the hand below the video, and click on the subscribe button too, so that you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner here is an eye. If you click on that, you'll get a drop down so that you can go directly to the menu, to the recipe for these blueberries, or there's a link below the video to the recipe as well. So that's it for today. I'll be back with you again in the near future with another recipe. So until then, happy baking.